At the outset, let me congratulate all those who are graduating today during this very important 25th convocation of IMA. I just counted, there are 1499 in number, 17 of them getting PhDs in association with AMU, 616 PGDM and PG Diploma in Information Technology Management, 754 of them in PG certificates in management, 112 in certificates in financial modeling and evaluation, and five gold medalists. And as expected, in all the convocations that I attend, mostly the gold medalists are cornered by girl students. Here also, the ratio is 3:2. So, three for the girl students and two for the male students. My dear graduating students, this convocation is certainly, as rightly pointed out by in the beginning, our friend the Sanjay Kirloskar, as well as Rekha Sethi, that this is a very special one. It is special because of many counts. One of them is because this is the 25th one, a silver jubilee one. So I think that is the first important thing. We have milestones of silver jubilee, golden jubilee, platinum jubilee, and I hope many more convocations will happen. So this is a turning point. The second one is the Honorable Minister for Education, Sri Ramesh Pokhriyal, who has just announced the policy on the 29th of July. Within no time, it's not even 1 month, and he is addressing the convocation. I think this is a second very important milestone that you must be happy about. The third is this is the convocation, probably first time IMA, or for that matter, anywhere in the country we are holding in an online mode. It's a COVID times, and it's entirely on an online mode. And I was listening to the graduates being presented and being awarded their diplomas, PhDs. And I'm in a lighter tone want to say that during convocations, all of us, deans, directors in our respective universities, we use the words, that is, the students who are being presented, we will name them, and then we will say that, including those in absentia. And the same thing was being said here. But I think we may have to say hereafter in future that those who are online and those who could not come online. I think this is the change which we may have to do in our vocabulary as we go ahead. Everything is getting converted into online, whether it is meetings, functions, seminars, workshops, including interviews, convocations, and most importantly, as the chairman of AICTE, I would like to inform you that the regulatory body's main function of giving approvals to institutions, both existing ones and the ones who are willing to start new institution, everything has been made online thanks to COVID. I was attempting this for the last 2 years using the technology of ISRO, but we were not in a position to do it because of severe restrictions and opposition. But this time we had no choice but to do it, and I'm very happy that the process starting from the document verification to the physical inspection is replaced by the online, what we call it as virtual tour and virtual inspection by experts sitting in three different places. And then if there are any complications involved, giving a hearing to the institution, having an appeal committee, everything online using Microsoft Teams. And no one can now say that the inspection was not carried out properly because everything is video recorded. What we say normally that it is in black and white, now it is in color. Now that video recording is also available. And therefore, an absolutely robust, credible, transparent, honest system has got evolved. And this is all possible because of the advancement in technology. And therefore, when we refer to the National New Education Policy, which has been recently announced, the regulation has to be light but tight. No, this is the statement which has gone viral actually. And the significance of that is visible here, that the institution has to announce what all it has, and institution need not worry about the inspection that is happening or the inspectors who are coming, and we have given away with the inspection Raj, and absolutely transparent system has emerged. The policy also talks about variety of other things. It's a absolutely transformative and reformative policy, probably after 34 years, a lot of water has gone down the Ganges, and therefore a lot of technologies have evolved, have happened, and therefore the policy needed to be in tune with the aspirations of the people, and it takes care of everyone. And that is why there were no negative reactions about the policy. Otherwise, whenever a government announces a policy, normally there are lots of reactions which will oppose certain elements of that. But I'm very, very happy that this policy did not attract any negative attention, because it is meant for everyone, every family, whether it is from school education to higher education. All facets of education have been covered. And that's why it's a very significant and important change. I'm sure Honorable Minister will speak during his address about the features of that, but I would like to touch upon few of them. We have been talking about autonomy. The true autonomy has started being given in the recent times, both by the UGC and AICTE, for both institutions which are affiliated to the universities as well as standalone institutions like PGDM institutions. Multidisciplinary approach. We say that education must be holistic, and therefore single domain universities must not exist. They must expand into multidisciplinary. That means an engineering school must have humanities and social sciences. Institute of Science must have some component of engineering or medicine or architecture. I think that is the way forward, and the policy clearly enunciates that. It gives enormous flexibility in terms of multiple exit and multiple entry. A student who does not fit into the system, or because of some compulsions at home, he has to exit at a given time. He does not go with the empty hands, but will carry either a certificate or a diploma or an advanced diploma or a degree or an honors degree, depending on how many years or how many credits he has already earned. And that's why the principle of credit banking, like our bank accounts, you can keep on accumulating the credits based on the courses one has done, and at a relevant time, by going through probably even multiple universities, one can get a degree from out of that. I think it's a phenomenal transformative change which will empower large number of students. The goal of setting up a large number of educational institutions is very, very difficult, because we all know that for a physical brick and mortar university or a institution, you require a lot of cost which is involved in terms of not only the land, the buildings, and these are very, very precious these days, especially in the larger towns and cities. And therefore, a lot of emphasis on online education, online degrees has been emphasized, so that our goal of reaching 50% of the gross enrollment ratio in higher education can be achieved very easily, making use of online and open and distance education. It is in this context that I would like to congratulate IMA, who had envisioned this, and way back in the year 1957 itself, when it started off, thought about giving education at the doorsteps through what is known as open and distance learning. Of course, that time we did not have online, but providing the reading material to the students at their doorsteps, allowing them to take examination at given centers. I think this is what had already developed what is known as an education model whereby gross enrollment ratio could be increased. Going further, today, with the support of internet, with the support of technology that is available, whether it is conduct of the classes are concerned, whether it is conduct of examinations are concerned, we are all very, very stable. I just now gave an example of AICTE doing its entire regulatory process itself through an online mode. Going further, there are other facets of education, that of inculcating all that what is happening in the technology domain to be brought to the curricula. The curriculum revision has to be continuous, almost as an annual ritual. And if we have to do that, we have to add on many, many new courses. And we are all aware that in the recent times, some of the courses such as AI, IoT, machine learning, deep learning, robotics, 3D printing, design, then you have the what is known as augmented reality, virtual reality. We have cloud computing, cyber security, blockchain, data analytics. These are all the technologies and areas which are going to create jobs of the future. And it is often said that whatever existing jobs are there, they are going to be taken off because of automation, and the new jobs will be in these 10 to 12 new emerging areas. And therefore, if you add them into the curriculum, naturally, the faculty who were not trained in this, naturally they find it difficulty, and learning on their own is also not so easy. And therefore, AICT started faculty development programs in all these areas under what is known as Atal Academies, AICT's Training and Learning, ATAL, Atal Academies. It also gives tribute to our Honorable former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. But this program, which we started in the face-to-face mode, we could conduct 185 programs last year, and we could train only 9,600 faculty. But during COVID, we suddenly had to stop it. But we innovated and started using various platforms, whether it is WebEx, whether it is Microsoft Teams, whether it is Zoom, or whether it is Google Classroom. And we started engaging with faculty. And nowadays, instead of normal faculty development programs where you used to have 50 or 60 faculty at a given workshop or a faculty development program, today we have as many as 400, 500, even crossed 1,000. I think this is the power of technology. So using these kind of platforms in the last 3 months, we have been able to train more than 18,000 faculty members in these emerging areas with only 85 programs. And all of them are 5-day programs. In the beginning, many people questioned how about the effectiveness of such programs. Because in the face-to-face mode, a teacher and student are facing each other, eye-to-eye contact is there, therefore the quality of learning would be better. And in the case of such online mode of education, maybe there is going to be a slight lapse on that part. And we started off with experimentation, naturally, but we observed that in a classroom also, if the teacher is not good, if he does not create interest among students, the students may be physically present in the classroom, but they will be hovering around in the universe outside, thinking something else in their minds, and the learning will not happen. And therefore, in the right perspective, if the student is interested, if the teacher is a good teacher, I think whether it is online or offline, classroom or no classroom, I think the quality will remain the same. And that our experience has proved now, and our feedback which we have been receiving is phenomenal. And we have been able to train faculty not only in these domains of emerging areas, but also on universal human values. We have trained more than 10,000 faculty. And universal human values, where substantial amount of empathy creation amongst faculty towards students is also involved. The values, ethics, and honesty, integrity is involved. And therefore, post-COVID, the important thing, and the new education policy talks about the innovation as well. And our Smart India hackathons have been creating the world's attention towards AICT and MHRD's innovation cell. We have had many other various facets in terms of faculty development programs, and I have already stated about examination reforms, moving away from rote learning to what we call as higher level of learning or testing, that is Bloom's taxonomy based examinations, where understanding of the subject, whether you have been able to apply it to a real life problem, whether you have been able to analyze the data, can you synthesize the problem and then find out the most optimum solution, can you be innovative and creative. I think all of these are important facets which have been being regularly attacked, and therefore the faculty are being trained in these domains. Now I will come back to the new education policy where a lot of emphasis is given on upskilling, life skilling, and connect between teacher education, the professional education, and the skill education. I think they should not be seen in segregation, but they have an integrated whole. And therefore, along with skill education or vocational education, technical education or professional education is important. It has a great role to play, whether it is engineering or management school. And therefore, my appeal to all the faculty of management as well as technology schools is that we have to be sensitive to the changing needs of the students and become student-centric institutions. And that's the most important thing. And continuously skill ourselves, upskill ourselves, and become lifelong learners. And today, opportunities available through what is known as platforms like Swayam, which has been created by MHRD, where 2,500 plus courses are there, where 1.2 crore users are there, where we have 114 countries looking at our courses. And we are also translating them into various languages. Why should everyone learn in English? हिंदी में भी पढ़ने के लिए होना चाहिए, तमिल में भी होना चाहिए, मराठी में भी होना चाहिए, और हो सकता है तो और भी 22 भाषाओं में होना चाहिए. उसका भी प्रयास इस माध्यम से होने जा रहा है. और मेरे ख्याल से हम अनेक केस स्टडीज के बारे में मैनेजमेंट एजुकेशन में बात करते हैं, तो मेरा ये अपील है कि आईमा जो एक स्पेशल मैट टेस्ट भी कंडक्ट करता है फॉर एडमिशंस टू मैनेजमेंट स्कूल्स. It has not only several PGDM programs, but more importantly, 2 of the journals where even research papers are published. But I want that Indian case studies have to be created and popularized world over.